Hell's Kitchen is a phenomenon. Very exciting, live, hard, difficult, tough, sweaty, disciplined, emotional environment. And something with an amazing prize. I'm a control freak. I think I've made that pretty clear. And in an awkward way, I never like to think of Hell's Kitchen as a show. For me, I don't think you'll ever, in the history of food, get as close to running a restaurant as this. Hell's Kitchen this season will be very different to last season. I have to say, from my point of view, a lot more creative. Menus a lot more stringent, a lot more difficult. Obviously there's a bigger prize. And pressure, really. Which everyone thinks the better you become, the easier it is. No. Hell's Kitchen is all about a pressurized environment. And the better you become, then the more I'll put you under pressure. Everyone's got an equal stance. They're all coming out the starters blocks at the same time, and they are on a level pegging. And for the first time ever in Hell's Kitchen, this year we've got men against the women. Why is it so necessary to be so hard on the competitors? I think we've got to understand the objective. I don't hate these guys. I spend more time with these guys than I do with my family. I've been cooking now for 21 years. And I've achieved a lot in cooking. And that's not by being best friends with everybody. And the chefs I work for across the world, I've busted my ass beyond belief. And I've been so grateful for their knowledge. Because you can't buy that knowledge. You can't, no one gives it to you on a paper to read. You don't get to become talented in cooking by reading cookery books. So, pressure's healthy. And pressure creates perfection. And quite frankly, if you don't want to cook at that level, go and flip a burger. Go and cook a hot dog. Don't come to Hell's Kitchen. In my opinion, to push these individuals to the extreme and draw the best out of them, improve their weaknesses, and create excitement, they're going to have to go to hell and back. I want to take them for face value. I want to meet them for the first time, and I would like them to sort of communicate with me through their food. And the first level of introduction is on their signature dishes. And when you get an individual that has got half an hour to cook his or her speciality, you can find out a lot about someone within that time. The winner of Hell's Kitchen this year will win an amazing restaurant in Vegas. Not just a simple setup, a very glamorous, multi-million-dollar restaurant set in a billion-dollar resort in the heart of Vegas.
Sous chef is the second in command, or the person that oversees everything for the chef, and any things that need to be taken care of, any orders that are basically dealt down from the chef, is the sous chef's responsibility to execute them according to the chef's standards.
It's definitely a male-dominated field, and a lot of women end up going into pastry more than anything else because it's a lot easier. But I think service in a restaurant is a whole lot more fun than working in pastry.
As far as being tough, I mean, it's a tough business. And I think a lot of people walk into it not realizing how tough it really is. And it's hard to find quality people. It's hard to find people that you can train and work with, people you can trust. You know, all those qualities are very difficult, but I think that kind of management skill really cuts to the chase to find good people. You know, and good people that say, all right, well, I understand where he's coming from. This is his livelihood. It's his reputation. I want the same thing. And if this is how I have to get it, then at least I know the people I'm surrounded with are going to take care of business and I can trust them.
It shows people at home exactly what it takes to work in a restaurant, because, you know, a lot of people don't understand that, you know, there are people back there putting your food together, and it's not just a machine. Nothing comes out of bags, you know. And I like the fact that people got to see what it takes.
My name is Jean-Philippe. I'm the maître d'. So basically I'm the person liaising with Gordon with what's happening in the restaurant mainly. I'm making sure that the customers are getting what they want, they're exceeding their expectations.
I'm Heather, I'm 25 years old, and I'm from East Hampton, New York. I've always cooked in the kitchens. I'm at home with my mom and my grandmother when I was a kid. And then when my mom got sick with cancer, I decided to start really getting in recipes from the internet to make her happy. So I decided I was getting good at it, so I decided to go to culinary school. I graduated from culinary school. I've been through tough kitchens. And then I decided to try it out for the show because I thought I could do it.
My name is Maribel, and I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. I'm a mother. I have a 13-year-old daughter. Newly married, well, 2 years married to a wonderful husband. I've been cooking for about 10 years. Restaurants, corporate, catering. Love cooking. Love pretty much all the aspects of it, the sweat, the heat, the burns, the cuts, everything. I think I could be the winning chef at Hell's Kitchen because I have a lot of drive, and I think I really, really want it more than other people. It's like I have more drive because I have more things to gain out of it, in my opinion. You know, it's like I need to show my daughter a positive image, and that's something I didn't have in my family. So by me doing this and accomplishing the big one, my daughter sees that, and she'll know that she can do just as good.
My name is Polly, and I'm from Ben Franklin, Texas, which is a tiny community outside of Paris of maybe 100 people. And I am a mother of 6 sons, and I homeschool them, and I have a small business called the Food Snob. Chef Ramsay doesn't scare me a bit. I just figure he's got things that he wants done in certain ways that he wants them done, and he can talk to me any way that he wants to. I'm probably a little bit older than he is, and so I'm not intimidated by him at all.
My name is Rachel, and I'm from Dallas, Texas. And I own a personal chefing company in Dallas, Texas, and have done so for the past 5 years. I've done everything from washing dishes to being an executive chef. Traveled around a little bit with some different places, and then got into the private sector with another company, and worked for them as a chef for a little bit, and then became their operations manager. Was there for another year and a half, and then opened my own company.
My name is Sarah. I'm from Dallas, and I work at Urban Market, downtown Dallas, and 5-star restaurant named Lola, and I work as a personal chef as well. I would say that in my history in cooking that you could say the past 11 years has been pretty much an acclamation of everyone being like Chef Ramsay. Not to the degree that he is a founding father of the rage in kitchens, but I have been shouted at where everything is never good enough and it can always be better. My name's Virginia. I'm from California in the Palm Springs area, but I live in New York City right now, and I'm a cook, well, garde position at a restaurant called Lupa. I do and I don't have a winning strategy. For each challenge, I have a strategy, of course, but it's so hard to like stick with a thought or a plan or a strategy because everything's constantly changing. Like one day it's a challenge against the other team. The next day is a challenge between my own team. So it's really hard to stick with one particular strategy. Ultimately, though, one great strategy is just to stay strong and do the best you can with every single moment that you have.
My name is Gabe. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm pretty much say I'm a traveler, adventurer. I always am on the move, always doing new things, always trying something else. Lived all over the world, traveled all over the world, and just looking for new experiences and new adventures every step of the way. I'm actually probably will have the least amount of cooking experiences anybody that will be a part of this, part of Hell's Kitchen. I just started culinary school about 6 months ago. It's a totally new thing for me. Cooking something I love, something I've done my whole life in my own kitchen, and working with Mom when I was little and doing cooking for friends all throughout school and stuff. So this is just a dream of mine to do something I like to do, to create something and get out from behind the desk. I'm not going to stare at a computer screen anymore. It's time to have some fun.
My name is Garrett. I'm from Austin, Texas. I love the food service industry. It's just fun all the way around, from the front of the house to, where you meet new people, to the back of the house where there's, all kinds of different flavors and things that you can play with, and just the ability to make people happy and enjoy, something that you can create. My first cooking job actually came when I was locked up in jail in Kentucky. I did some work at that kitchen for probably 8 months. Just, made orders and, basically let the guards know what we were lacking, what kind of food items we were running out of. Didn't do a lot of menu planning because they had a very small budget. Just, did a bunch of cooking there.
My name is Giacomo. I am originally from Long Island, New York. I live in Euless, Texas now. It's right in between Dallas and Fort Worth. And I love having fun, love working. We have a family restaurant, Italian food. It's a passion of mine. To be honest, Chef Ramsay is very hard on you, as you know. He's very good at what he does. He's very charismatic. He knows what to say to you and, how to portray himself to get the best out of each individual. It's tough in the beginning because you want to please him, make him happy, but you know that there's nothing that you can do at that point to make him happy. It's they knock you down to bring you up. My name is Keith. I'm from out in the Hamptons of New York, and about myself, I love to cook. I love the beach. I love hanging out with my boys, throwing barbecues, bartending, star tending, I call it. Dancing, killing it, just having a good time. That's my life. I think I worked under a lot of different chefs, and some of them are, maybe a kind of stern as Chef Ramsay, but none of them are as knowledgeable, you know what I mean? I never had as much respect for the chef as I do for him, you know what I mean? So it's different. But at the same time, I worked with some, people that were like him and that I couldn't talk back to because I needed it in my job, you know what I mean? So it's kind of have a little training in that, you know what I mean?
My name is Larry. I'm from Arlington, Texas, by way of Cleveland, Ohio. I've been cooking since I was roughly 8 to 10 years old. Always knew it's something I wanted to do. It's my passion. I have a wife, no kids, and I look forward to having a big family soon. I cook for a living. I own a personal chef service back in Arlington, Texas, and I'm also a fishmonger for one of the local gourmet grocers there, and I give recipes to customers and clients, but I go to people's homes and cook for them. That's my bread and butter.
My name's Tom. I live in Belleville, New Jersey. I just graduated culinary school about 2 weeks ago. This is my first job as a chef. And my background, finance degree, worked on Wall Street for about 8 years, on and off for about 8 years. Tried teaching for about a cup of coffee, couldn't deal with the brats. And got into sales, got in the telecom business. I was listening to Chef Ramsay, going off. And I worked on the commodities exchange, and I worked in, I made plenty of mistakes, and, I had people so far in my face just spitting on me, just like, and you're standing there in front of, hundreds of people, and you're getting chewed out, and you don't know if you're going to start laughing or crying, So I was like, I can